One of our local supermarkets had signs all over the place, local. I went over and said, "What does local mean?" And he said, "It means it wasn't grown in California." There's a role for those of us who are trying to do it honestly and do it for real.
We just need consumers that want to take a little bit of time to come out to these farms and understand a little bit more about their food and where it comes from and why. Every single new customer that a farm like ours gets is hugely important. We see that we can do this without medications, so why revert to a system where you would need to medicate? The easiest way is to sit in a combine all day and let it drive itself and put that grain into a dump truck and ship it off somewhere. I mean, it doesn't get much easier than that. The hardest thing to do is, do what we do and get up before sunrise and go to bed, after the sun sets. We just think it's the right thing to do.
My name is Shelby Calm. I'm the campaign coordinator for Fair Farms, which is a project of Waterkeepers Chesapeake. It is a campaign that brings together consumers, farmers, public health professionals, conservationists to advocate for a food system that is equitable, fair to farmers, invests in homegrown healthy foods, and restores our waterways. Thank you so much. I appreciate you taking the time to do this. We work with around 200 different restaurants, nonprofits, green businesses, and farmers. Right now it's primarily Maryland, but we do have a few farmer partners in DC and Virginia. And we're hoping to expand throughout the Chesapeake region in due time. It's nice to be able to work with farms in different geographic settings, the mountains, and a more urban environment like we are here in Baltimore.
Urban farming is back. it's back, and it's a good thing. I think it helps having access to healthy produce. My name is Kimberly Rakes, and this is White Rock Community Farm. And noise like that is gonna happen all day long on this farm. Yes. There's a trash truck that comes through both sides, the buses come through, so it is really an urban farm. It really is. A lot of people are amazed that this farm sits where it does sit, but yes, we are here. I don't know how many of you are familiar with snap peas, but they're very, very good. They have a very nice sweet flavor to them. I'm trying to open one. There you go. Whoop. And they're good. Honestly, I eat them throughout the day to give me energy as I'm walking through here and working. So they're very good, and everybody eats them. Matter of fact, there we go. See, can you grab the bottom of this bucket? I don't know why it's not coming out. There aren't any supermarkets besides Mondawmin, and I think up on Charles Street where the Safeway is. Those are the two closest. There's no place else where you can get fresh produce. I think it is a necessity to have something like this. You're getting it right from the ground. You're getting the nutrients that you need. I mean, it's like instant medicine. Washing our hands and putting on. I'm hoping that from what we're doing here, others will learn. The supermarkets don't want to come here, so let's go. We'll be in the community. We'll supply their needs.
Butcher shops and such.
A lot of farmers that we work with are kind of already on their way. A lot of times we just partner with them because they are utilizing practices that we want to lift up and want to kind of encourage consumers to support. And I think a lot of the farmers that we work with are happy that we are willing and able to make the link between consumers and their farmers, and that we're able to kind of tell their story to a broader audience.
a mutually beneficial relationship. Customer is able to communicate with the farmer and the farmer with the consumer. And in that way, the more information you have, the more, the better decision you can make. Nick Bailey, this is Grandview Farm. My father and I run a pasture-based farm operation. We have multiple species on the same land, and we rotate them often and together. And what that does is just mimics nature and gives us an opportunity to really produce real food. It allows us to produce whole food, nutrient-dense meat. I think that we need to connect more with the fact that an animal is being sacrificed for that pound of ground beef, for that whole chicken. And because there's just so much food available and so cheap, that we've lost a lot of respect for what actually goes into producing food. If you're going to eat meat, I think you should eat less of it and get it from a source that is practicing the methods of raising that animal that you want.
I'm Jane Malone, and our farm is Coops and Crops. And this is my husband, Dean Snyder. We are really committed to farming without using any chemicals or pesticides or herbicides. We're part of the national program called Certified Naturally Grown, which is not yet taken off much in Maryland, but it's basically a voluntary certification program. Farmers inspect other farmers.
In the desire to produce cheap food easily, we as a society are turning more and more to chemical solutions without a lot of dependable information about what the impact of that is going to be on ourselves, our children, and future generations. There's also a concern about the continual loosening of standards for certified organic. If you're a major corporation who's discovered that there's a certain segment of the population who's willing to pay more if it says certified on the label, and you lobby in order to get the standards loosened so that whatever you're making can qualify, even though it's not what people would think of as really organic. That kind of loosening of standards, it sort of undermines the credibility of us all. Eventually, the certification has no meaning. Then what do people do? I mean, then what can people trust?
The consumers have more power than they realize. Every time that customers decide to spend $1 here and not at a grocery store where there's conventional meat or processed foods, they're saying that this is the type of system, this is the type of farm they want to see for their kids, for their grandkids. That's going to be what we think is the future of agriculture and the future of food, hopefully, in this country.
Everyone has a role to play, and I think with consumers, whether it's a public health angle, whether you care about the environment, whether you care about supporting your local sustainable farming community, I think there's an issue that can resonate with everyone.
Our mind and our body is everything. It's what we use to spend time with people. It's what we use to go to work. Our physical and mental health is 100% of our lifestyle.
We need to be willing to pay the price that it costs to produce healthy, nutritious, tasty food.